while most Americans were crying in their Ben and Jerry's watching the final episode of Game of Thrones. A whole other group of Americans were busy watching Mayor Pete Buttigieg on Fox News Town Hall.
So let's get right to it and bring out Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
Thank you.
Not only did Buttigieg reject the wisdom and advice from such sage, courageous, stalwart leadership, Elizabeth Warren, who said she wouldn't go on the network because it would be feeding racism and bigotry, but he rejected also many others in the DNC establishment and the Democratic corporate media who agreed with Elizabeth Warren. Some even went so far as to say that anyone who would hold a Fox News town hall, Bernie Sanders, was betraying black people. Zelina Maxwell.
In terms of what he would do.
So, Zerlina, in your view, who's approaching this the right way? Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders and the other candidates willing to go on Fox?
I think that depends upon who you think the more important voting bloc in the Democratic base is. Do you think that it's more important to reach out to people who voted for Donald Trump to change their minds to vote for Democrats in 2020? Or do you think that voters of color who are very offended by the white nationalism out in the open on Fox News and their votes matter to you in order to win the Democratic primary? I think it's a differentiation of priorities. And so I think Elizabeth Warren is not only saying, I'm not going to go there and do a Fox News town hall, she's also articulating the specific reasons why. She's saying essentially what they do is hate for profit.
Well, Pete did it anyway. And looks like he did okay.
And thank you. Wow, a standing ovation. Thank you, Mayor.
Not only did Pete play an away game on Fox News and score a couple of points, he got in a couple of digs on Donald Trump, Laura Ingraham, and Tucker Carlson, and got applause the entire time.
Who can be on the debate stage and how would you handle the insults and the attacks and the tweets and all of that?
The tweets are, I don't care.
It got me to wondering if he was really at a Fox News town hall or if this was a mock presentation. Am I witnessing a false flag?
In other words, I think that the thing that would really put an end not just to this presidency, but to the divisiveness, to the corruption, to the behavior, and to the cover that congressional Republicans, many of whom you can just tell know better, but they're giving it cover because they think they have to politically. The best way, in my view, to change that equation is for there to be an enormous defeat for this president and what he represents at the ballot box in 2020.
Is this a psyop or what? This can't be Fox News, viewers. This guy's dumping on Donald Trump, and they're clapping. There was one woman in the audience who nodded her head agreeably for everything that Pete said, even when he just cleared his throat. Man, she was something else. I don't care who you are. If you take the time to watch this town hall, you'll see that Pete had a lot of fans in the audience. And he could do no wrong. There was even like mundane questions or mundane answers, very milquetoasty. They got applause. Like this one.
My experience is that of being mayor. And I would say being a mayor in a city of any size in America right now is about as relevant as it gets. I've literally got the 3 a.m. call to deal with an emergency. I know that this is a job, any government executive job, is not just about passing good policies, but it's also about managing, and most of all, it's a moral job. And that's the part I think we're missing today in the presidency. It's a moral office, not just a management office. And as a mayor, I think I have an understanding of that.
What was that? It's almost as if he could do no wrong. I mean, I wonder if it would work for me. If I could say mundane things and just get applause. It's not so much that water's wet. It's that water is water. And if you jump in it, it'll get in your eyes. And if it gets in your eyes, it could burn. But if sometimes it doesn't burn, it just gives you that feeling of summer. And that's what I want us to get back to as a country. Summertime. I've gone all across the country, and I got to tell you, whenever I sit down with people and we listen to music, if a Tupac song comes on, I always feel that California love. And I want the whole world, everyone in the country, to have that kind of love in their heart. You know, whenever I think about the division that's across this country, I sit and wonder, wow, you know, the Wu-Tang Clan has a lot of members in it, and they're always united. So basically what I'm saying is, I think America needs to be more like the Wu-Tang Clan. And not only are people not complaining about Mayor Pete doing a town hall just like Bernie did, but they're praising it. Take Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski on Morning Joe this morning.
My daughter and I watched that town hall and just thought it was pretty amazing what happened last night.
Well, the reaction to Mayor Pete has been remarkable, especially for a nation that has learned to become very cynical of politicians of all stripes. But you could see the response on Twitter. You could see hear the response from friends and neighbors, just like after his announcement. And it's quite unlike anything that I know that you and I have ever seen. And
looks to me like Elizabeth Warren didn't make such a good decision after all. I mean, Pete does a town hall, plays an away game at Fox News, does well, gets a bump, people are talking about him. He may even get a couple of votes out of it. I read an article in Politico where they were talking to Beto O'Rourke, and they asked Beto O'Rourke, would he do a town hall? He was like, I would absolutely do a town hall at Fox News. I believe that people need us to meet them wherever they are. That's where I'll go, if they'll have me. They was like, oh, okay, you mean, yeah, right. That's all we needed, sons. Yes or no? So yeah, maybe Elizabeth Warren is wrong, and maybe Kamala Harris, who followed Elizabeth Warren down the wrong path.
Kamala Harris reportedly has no plans to appear in a Fox News town hall. Freelance journalist Yashar Ali, citing two sources familiar with the matter, reported in his newsletter that Harris will not participate in a moderated event on the network.
You follow Elizabeth Warren for advice? Instead of going with Bernie Sanders, the guy who won over 40 states against Hillary Clinton, you go up behind Elizabeth Warren, you follow her as your leader? The lady who didn't have the balls to endorse Bernie? Was scared to run last session in 2016? Come on. She didn't just decide to become a presidential candidate. She just was scared of Hillary. And she's still scared of Hillary. And that does not a leader make. It's pretty disappointing for her to be down to, basically fighting amongst Pete Buttigieg. No one knows this guy. He went on the world stage taking on Jeff Sessions to no avail, or taking on Kavanaugh. I mean, whenever they need somebody to come out of the woodwork on the Senate Judiciary Committee and give somebody a hard time, you got yourself Kamala Harris. Look at Cory Booker. Cory Booker's do-over needed a do-over. I heard about that movie Failure to Launch. I didn't watch it, but I gotta imagine it's a lot like Cory Booker's presidential run. He keeps launching and relaunching. At some point, you just gotta realize you can't get the toothpaste back in the tube, dude. And then look at Beto O'Rourke. I mean, he's trying to remake himself. Good luck with that working. No matter where you go, there you are. Pete Buttigieg, I think we're gonna have to take him a lot more seriously. When I say we, I mean that's an independent media. It's evident that people are pushing this guy. It's evident this is what they want. A guy who talks really nice, and we still don't really know what he stands for as far as policy. Word on the street, he's starting to flesh out his website to be more than just a merchandise shelf, which is cool, I guess. Hey, look, I'm not a betting man, so I'm not putting any money out there, but I got a feeling that pretty soon things are going to turn around. I mean, all this nice guy, nice lady thing going on now in the Democratic primary, that's going to end. Things are going to get serious, and then we're going to hear bodies dropping. And we're going to go from everybody being a happy vegan to all of a sudden They're going to start eating one another.
You know, a lot of folks in my party were critical of me for even doing this with Fox News.
Revolution.